Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 5 of the Gilded City 2. Thank you for joining us. Hope if you're in the United States, you probably just had Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. And hope you enjoyed, hope you've been enjoying the show so far and are looking forward to where we go next. But of course, so that you can stay on top of where we go next, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that bell so that you're notified every single time a new episode goes live. Leave us a like and a comment to let us know what you think of the show. If you are following the podcast, don't forget to do all of the podcast stuff on the various platforms. Rate, boost it however it boosts. But most podcasts don't really have an algorithm, so just, word of mouth is also very helpful. And of course, you can follow us on social media at Rollers Guild DND on at least TikTok and Instagram. And possibly Twitter, if it is still around by the time this episode goes live.
It's still around.
So far, it is still technically around. So, hey, we'll see what happens, I guess. Hey, comment below if there is a different social media platform we should be on instead of Twitter.
We could make a Be Real.
We're not making a Be Real.
Yeah.
We are not making a Be Real. It's not it's a Gen Z thing. I don't understand it.
Okay.
Anyway.
That's not me.
I do the basic concept I understand. I just don't understand why it's so popular. But
all
anyway,
staying in the episode.
Comment below. Why is it popular?
All staying in the episode. Comment below how much you like Be Real and how much of an idiot I am for not appreciating it.
Yeah, roast him.
Its true value. Yeah, roast me. I've spent my whole life getting roasted, so go ahead.
You okay, Ben?
I'm fine. I'm fine. With that, let's go ahead and dive on into this week's episode. Last time, the Waterdavian heroes in tandem came to the vast library Candlekeep, following up a lead on Artemis Brightshield's missing brother. Mere hours after their arrival, the party was drawn into a conspiracy related to a book titled Candlekeep Deconstruction. The library leadership asked the party for help, and in exchange, the party would be granted near unlimited access to the vast stores of knowledge in Candlekeep. The investigation led the party to a tower called the Barn Door, where they encountered an eccentric cult led by a gnome named Stonky Knobtopper, who wanted to launch the tower and a selection of books within into outer space, where the public wouldn't be able to ruin them. The party confronted Stonky and his cultists and managed to bring a stop to the tower's launch cycle. So, this is where we left off. You have successfully aborted the launch. You've knocked out all of the cult members except one who you killed. But other than the one who died, Rose accidentally killed one,
Oh, that's
not realizing
right.
how flimsy the cultists were.
Oh, that was very early, wasn't it?
It was very early.
Mhm.
So other than the one cultist, all the others are unconscious or otherwise
Or strapped to
or
chairs.
strapped to chairs,
Or
so
unconscious.
otherwise
Oh, yeah.
incapacitated. So the tower is yours if any of you would like to examine it further. Otherwise, you can make your way back out and report your results to Bookworm and Tellus Avaste, who are the two members of Candlekeep leadership that sent you on this little mission. So, what would you all like to do?
We checked out the office, right? We checked out the office.
On the second floor.
Bowmin did, and he found something that he couldn't read.
But he
Wow,
has not
shocker.
given that to the rest of us. Artemis, is the telescope thing still active?
Well, I was just in the room, so I would know this. I'm probably not concentrating. I told it to destroy itself, so I'm going to guess no, unless it's just really durable.
It's bang. When you were up there, I'll say you saw it was bent and banged up, but wasn't totally destroyed. It had done the best it could, but its range of movement is fairly limited, so it can kind of swivel up and down and turn on the platform.
It did great.
Its capacity to destroy itself is limited.
So, why? Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah.
I can. Yeah, well, I don't think I can. Let me double check that. I'm pretty tired. Yeah, I can't do it.
Oh.
Can't do it. Maybe tomorrow. We can find another big telescope. Or anything else. I can do that to just things, you know.
Oh,
Just anything.
wow.
Yeah, so keep that in mind.
Party can animate.
Great. Right. We should find the others. They're probably dead without us. So everyone okay? Everyone all right? Miss Wilmington?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm a little banged up, but I'm okay.
Yeah, right. Anyone need anything? Anyone good? We all good?
Bowmin, you grabbed one of those cockroachy things, right?
Yeah, I've got it. Whenever you're ready for it. I don't think you should check on it right now. It's probably pretty heavy to move around.
No, yeah, that's fine. I just want to make sure we have one.
Oh yeah.
I guess we should go report our findings.
Sure.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
lot in the chairs. Stay there.
Can't very well go anywhere else.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, you all leave the barn door, make your way back out to the Court of Air, beyond the emerald door that leads to the inner library, and are easily able to meet back up with Bookworm, the Dragonborn, and Tellus Avaste, human. And you know, they're both approach you, and Bookworm asks, so how did it go? Yes.
Am I still carrying Stonky? Because I
Are
tied
you?
him up. I haven't put him down, so I assume we have him hostage.
Okay. Yeah, you've got Stonky with you. It's Stonky? What?
That is his legal name.
Yes, that is his name. That is his legal name.
Oh, I wonder if
Oh,
all the other ones, those are their real names. Back in
Yeah,
the-
do you employ where are their names?
Sweet Pea,
Yeah.
cow shit,
Chicken peach, cow cotton.
corn on the cob.
None of those names are familiar to me. Talus is like trying to stifle a chuckle at the silly names.
Oh, okay.
Well, what happened? What does Stonky have to do with any of this? What happened?
That's a
So
really good question.
yeah, this is all gonna sound like we've made it up, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't a fever dream. Everybody else just experienced that as well, correct?
More or
yeah,
less.
I'm 90% sure it was not
Yeah.
a group hallucination.
So they were turning the barn door into some sort of space train thing, balloon. Yeah, it was like a
What?
really big hot air balloon that they wanted to take to space.
Like a ship that
Yeah.
would go into space.
Yeah. Somehow.
One might even say a spaceship.
What? No.
That doesn't sound right.
We didn't want to presume.
And they wanted to do that so that, people wouldn't destroy the books, wouldn't damage the books. It
Have
seems
access
like
to books?
yeah, but only the books in the barn door tower. What books exactly are in that tower?
There were not any books stored there, so any books that you saw were probably brought from other parts of the library
Okay.
into the tower.
Okay. But yeah, it seems like the whole custodial crew or many custodial crew was wrapped up in this. Some of them have willingly tied themselves to chairs for you. So
Okay, yeah, that is very strange. Looks down at Stonky. Did you knock Stonky out or did you just tie him up?
Oh, he's awake.
He's awake. Okay. Bookworm looks down at Stonky and says, "Is this true, Mr. Knobtopper?" And Stonky looks up and glares at Bookworm and says, "I'm the only one who has an appreciation for the sanctity of these books. You let just anybody touch these things. But I swear, I will protect the most important books in our collection." And
Most important.
Talus strives towards and in your opinion, Stonky, what are the most important books in our collection? Oh, important tomes such as an encyclopedia of herbs and fungi, first edition.
seems important.
Right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Mhm.
Is that all that's in there? The
No, there
encyclopedia?
are other books. That wasn't the only book.
I was gonna say the herb and fungi fans are gonna blow the chat up. Being angry.
I also had the Faerun Birdwatcher's Guide.
Oh shit.
Oh, I know who you are. You're my parents. Hey, Mom.
That's just me, like in real life, though.
No.
Right.
He goes to talk about, more of the very important books in the collection, including Heroes Feast, the cookbook, and Trobrand's Machinations, Volume 10. And before Chalice cuts him off and turns to Bookworm and says, "Right, well, I can probably oversee discipline on that if you want to finish up here with this lot."
One last thing. All of them were apprehended, excepting one fanatic who was absolutely going to kill, so unfortunately, an accident occurred.
Self-defense is understandable, but I appreciate that you did not kill wantonly. That is appreciated. I've worked with adventurers before, and that can be a bad habit some of them develop. So,
Although, to be fair, they and their weird little cockroach things were killing us. One of us went down,
Right. Yeah.
and it was
Two people went down.
who? No, what? Who else went down?
Miss Presswell, and then Rose.
What? Penny? Penny, did you?
Seriously, don't start with me right now. I cannot handle that right now. Don't talk to me.
Whoa,
Don't talk to me.
whoa,
Can
whoa.
we? What else do we have to do here? What else is happening?
Penny, did you?
Tellus says,
You're
right,
not good.
what I'll go take care of. I'll take some other vow and we'll go, take care of things. I must say it is going to be a little difficult to find something to charge them with.
Attempted murder?
We can probably get them charged with assault, but there's no law against launching a tower into space.
Wouldn't they technically be stealing your property?
Yeah, technically that would be
Attempted
theft.
robbery?
Fair
Treason?
enough.
Do people get arrested for treason?
I'll
I don't know if it's treason.
we'll talk.
Ooh.
I'll talk to the lawyers, but anyway, I could take Stonky off your hands and Bookworm, as Tellus escorts Stonky away with a couple of other avowed members of the avowed. Bookworm turns back to all of you and says, well, once again, thank you for your efforts. First, as requested, if I could have Candlekeep deconstruction back.
Oh, yeah, as we agreed upon.
Thank you.
I could carry that for you if you
No,
wanted.
I've got it. Thank you.
Okay.
And here, this is for you. And Bookworm hands over a letter bearing their seal, which grants you access to the inner wards of the library to research to your heart's content. And Bookworm also says, additionally, any services that you need to take advantage of while you're here, food, drink, book binding services, consider it on the house. Just show that letter as well, and it will be taken care of.
Thank you. I don't know how
Let
the
him
rest
play
of you feel.
D&D.
Yeah, I'm putting him
Cats
in.
on the Zoom.
I don't know how the rest of you feel, but we should probably head back and rest for the night.
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely need a rest.
Yeah, my health
Yep.
could use it.
Um,
You didn't actually.
She very
She-
much.
When
She went down for like,
one of these days, you're gonna all wake up and I'm not gonna be here because I ran away and
No.
oh, I would, okay, well.
Yeah, we would drag you back.
You
It
would
would
be
become
found.
our new mission.
This isn't a cult.
That's
We should be able to
what
leave
you
whenever
think.
we want to.
In tandem. When you're here, you're family.
Or family.
All right, so just to be, did anyone else almost die while we're there? While we're throwing this around? 2 of us? Just 2. Going once. Going twice. 2.
I
All
don't
right.
know if I would say just 2. Like 2's pretty high for most of our fights.
Yeah, that's well
Yeah,
over the
comparative.
third.
Right.
Rose says, to be fair, I'm not nearly as experienced as all of you, so you
That's
know,
right.
probably that shouldn't besmirch your record.
Well, it's more of just a head count. We're not really a record.
We just need
I
to
mean,
keep
attached
data
to
on
bodies
these things.
count.
I mean, I haven't gone down, but
You've never gone down, and you will never go down.
Only
not for
Bowmin
another
goes
2.
down.
The only
We're in
man who's
trouble.
knocked me out.
That sounds like you are asking me to knock Bowmin out in a fight. That's what that sounds like to me.
No,
That would be bad.
that
I
would,
would love to see it.
that would really be bad.
Right.
We go rest.
Let's go.
Yes.
Yes, you all make your way back to your rooms. Rose is gonna go back to her accommodations as well. So you return to your fancy suite in an extra dimensional space. And all of you start getting ready for bed. As you're sort of getting ready for bed, like you all have your own individual rooms in this, in this suite. Octavia, you are sort of, getting your stuff put away, getting ready for bed, trying to figure out, what sort of research you're going to do once you gain access to the library. And suddenly, an illusory image of your mother appears in the room. She's looking the wrong way at first, but then she turns to, the spell worked. Oh, thank goodness. All right. Hello, Octavia.
Hi. This is new.
Yes. This is a very advanced bit of illusion magic called project image. I just learned it recently, actually. But I wanted to check in. Sending is so limited. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're getting closer, I think, to helping Artemis.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're in Candlekeep now, yes?
Yes.
Hey, very good, very good. How much longer do you think it will be that you're
Well, we did just gain access to the entirety of the library, so
impressive?
I would think it might be a few more days to find what we need. And then I'm not sure from there.
I don't mean to, I don't mean to pressure you, I want you to help your friend. I just, it's been a while, and
You need help back in
yes,
Waterdeep.
yes, we do. Amos and I are keeping things running as smoothly as we can, but some of the support groups for the victims of the former Black Staff is sort of in a bit of a rocky patch right now, as far as that's concerned. And there's so many other major organizations in the city that we have to work with and trying to deal with. Sorry,
Sorry.
These familiars.
I don't mean to go. Let him play
This is a cat
D&D. I don't mean to sort of interrupt. You've got a life, and I'm
No,
thankful to you and your friends for everything you've done for me, for Waterdeep.
I understand, and I do plan to come back soon, but I need to see this through and make sure that they can get where they need to go.
Yeah, no, I understand. And on a personal note, I miss you.
I miss you too.
Well, I will let you get to sleep. Good night, Octavia.
Good night. Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
and the illusion of your mother disappears.
Or he really wants to play tonight.
He does. He does want to play tonight. Penny. So you are also getting ready for bed over in your bedroom, and you get this feeling like the hairs on the back of your neck start to stand up, like you're being watched.
Again. Is that it?
What would you like to do?
I'll look around.
Yeah, you turn. There's no one in the doorway to your room. The door is open, and you can't remember if you had closed it or not. If you want to go out,
Yeah.
and yeah, so you go out into the sort of the hall that leads back into like the main foyer, and like out of the corner of your eye, you think you see someone, but as you turn to look, there's no one there.
Did it look like a woman?
It did look like a woman out of the corner of your eye. You thought this was a woman, and
I'm
you're
tired.
really you're really trying to think about it. It was almost exactly the same as your experience at the Brightshield estate. And also, maybe you didn't get a good look, right? You only saw her out of the corner of your eye. You didn't really see her very well, but it's just something familiar about her. Can't
Like-
quite put your finger on it.
Like familiar in a good way or familiar in a this person has tried to kill me before way? Because those are two very different types of familiar. Like, does it feel like a threat? Like when the Black Staff was scrying?
No, it doesn't feel like being scryed on.
Mhm.
It feels like whoever this woman is, you're sure you've seen her before, outside of just seeing her at the Brightshield estate. Like thinking back, like, yeah, I definitely seen her like before that, but you weren't able to get a good enough look to really determine who she is, what the context that you've seen her before is.
Is there a way I can do a magic trap? Does anyone have a spell that's like a magic trap that like goes off. Isn't there something where something goes off when someone enters or something enters an area? I'm gonna go find Octavia.
There's
Okay.
I have like the alarm spell, I think, or
Yeah, you go over to Octavia's room. She's still getting ready for bed. So
Knock knock.
hello.
I wanted to be known that the door was already open when I knocked. Anyways, Octavia, I need your help with something.
Okay.
Do you know this? I need to set an alarm in my room so that if something or someone were to come in while I was sleeping, it would alert me and I can wake up and try to see them. But we have to do it quietly because now that I'm thinking about this and I'm saying it out loud, I'm going to switch to message now, which is a cantrip. I can use that as much as I want. I'm going to switch to message now for the rest of this. Okay, now that I'm nervous that I've said it out loud, the person will know that I'm doing it, but I need you to cast alarm on my room. Can you do that?
Well, I can cast alarm, but it won't tell you, it'll tell me if someone enters. Or I can do an audible alarm, but that would alert everyone.
Yeah. How about I just sleep in your room tonight?
Okay.
And then when it alarms you, just throw something. I'll sleep next to your bed. So just throw something on the floor and it'll wake me up and then I'll be able to see it.
Well, I don't really need to sleep exactly, so why don't you take the bed
Okay.
and I'll sit in that chair over there.
But you need to look like you're sleeping because I feel like they won't come if you look like you're not sleeping.
Well, I will be in a meditative state.
Perfect. Excellent.
So
Great plan.
okay. So I guess I'll cast alarm on the doorway into my room.
yeah,
Yes.
great. Easy enough to do. And the two of you go to bed.
Sleepover time.
Cutting away from the two of you, Jinarra, you went to bed, nothing weird happened. You take some time, but you eventually fall asleep. In your dreams, you see Waterdeep engulfed in flames, people screaming, running through the streets. You run after someone to try to help them as you burst through a set of doors, trying to follow them, trying to give them aid. You suddenly find yourself in a temple at a funeral. And as you burst into the room, all the people in attendance at the funeral turn and look at you and start pointing and shouting at you. Why didn't you stop this? Why didn't you save my son? Why didn't you save my cousin? Why didn't you save my mother? On and on and on and on and on. And then you wake up in a cold sweat.
Pretty normal night.
Yeah. Is there anything a Jinarra typically does after waking up from such a nightmare? Or
As long as I've gotten enough rest, I'm just gonna get up and start training.
okay. Yeah, you get up, you find like some space in this, extra dimensional hotel suite and just start going through your morning workout routine.
Yep.
Great. My last little thing for tonight is for Artemis. For this one, I do need everyone else to go away. Artemis, as you go to sleep, for the first time since you got the warning about your brother, you dream of the silver flame. Familiar setting, sort of a dark void with the flame in front of you. It's silent initially.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can always hear you.
Are you all right? Last time we spoke, you were a little distressed. You haven't really been around.
You follow the trail of your brother. Yes.
Yeah.
Dangers lie on the road ahead. As are the dangers you have left behind. Today, you met someone. A fanatic.
Yeah, it's the gnome, right?
Cult leader. Trivial. In this grand scheme of things. But he had intentions that he believed were good and noble, and it led him down the path of insanity. This has happened to a Brightshield, to more than one Brightshield.
What do you mean by more than one? I mean, sure, Dagrin. Anyone else I knew? No, or just in general?
Would you like me to show?
Oh, I'm going to regret saying yes.
The flames grow brighter, all-consuming all around you. You shield your eyes, and as they fade, you find yourself in an unfamiliar room. It's very grand room, high ceiling, sort of pillars. One wall is just gone. It's just open with pillars. It's open to the air, letting in natural sunlighting. It seems to be you're up at a pretty high vantage point. And as you go over, if you want to go over and examine,
I want to see the view.
as you go over and examine, you are looking out from a very high vantage point in some kind of keep or castle or tower of some sort, and you are looking out over a grand city of white stone and silver and gold metals throughout this great city that is hemmed in by impressive walls surrounding the city. As you turn your attention back to the room, there is a large table in the center of the room around which a number of people are gathered, all of them in very fine clothing, but one of them in much more regal apparel, dressed in purples and blues primarily, wearing a full regal cape and a crown atop his head. And looking at him, you see some familiar Brightshield features. Your grandfather's nose, your father's jawline, even something of the way you have your hair currently styled in his hair.
Fix it. I'll fix it to match. Just a little bit.
So you see this table around you, and there's a number of people at this table, and then one of them is talking about tax policies in the city, and by this time next month, we will have enough grain set aside to dole out to the poorer folks of the populace, as requested, Your Grace. The king nods and says, "Yes, very good. Hold on there.
That's fine.
Nope, can't find it. Anyway, I know there has been some resistance to this program, of course, but I appreciate all of your help getting it set up. I truly believe that this program will do wonders for the poor and destitute of Oikos. We will give them a steady source of good food, so they don't have to worry about that, so that they have time to get back on their feet. This is going to be a hugely beneficial program. Some of the advisors nod, some of the others look, a little sour. One of the advisors clears his throat and says, Your Grace, if I might, you still have not given a statement about the ex-priests of the Church of the Silver Flame that have been besmirching the good name of you and the royal family in recent months. The king sort of waves it aside and says, yes, well, you can't please everyone, and I assure you, Silver Flame remains at my back. And as the years go on, I know the people of Oikos will see it as well, and the mutterings of a few discontented priests will be forgotten. The scene fades, and you are back before the Silver Flame, which says, the last king, Oikos, he started off with good intentions, the best of intentions. But even someone as good as he could be led astray.
How did it happen? Was it those priests? Were they dealt with? Did they calm down?
I am limited in how much I am able to show you at once. Perhaps in future you can learn more of the story. But the main thing I want you to take away from this, Artemis Brightshield, is that even someone as good as Apollo Brightshield III was brought to the depths of evil, convinced to commit the worst atrocities the kingdom of Oikos had seen in a few short years. You saw him at his best just now. much worse.
Huh.
And so, Artemis Brightshield, what I present to you is this. Are you immune from falling from grace?
Oh, well, the naive side of me would want to say I'll be different. But like Miss Wilmington, I've come to realize that stories don't always, that's not how things always go. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to be. I can't be everywhere. But if I'm not, I don't know. I'm not immune. All right? You might be putting your faith in someone who's gonna mess it all up. But that's gonna be that's me, right?
That, Artemis, is exactly why I chose you. You are not convinced that you are right all of the time. Those who are often the ones most at risk of doing unspeakable things. Your brother was always convinced he was right.
Was.
He's beyond my sight now, but...
Right, okay. I'm trying.
I appreciate your efforts. Continue down the path you are on. You are my last hope. In
No
this
pressure.
my power wanes again. But we will speak further. And the flames go out and your dream ends. Rest of the night passes uneventfully. You all wake up in the morning, having had a long rest, so you may go ahead and click that button on View Beyond.
Oh, good.
And yeah, the day is yours.
Miss Presswell, a question for you.
Where are we?
She's in Octavia's room.
Did you try my room and then just walk in Octavia's room?
Sure.
Bowman's been
Oh my
looking for
gosh.
you.
The obvious
Bowman's been looking
choice.
for you for hours.
Sets off the alarm.
Yes. Bowman, yes. How can I help you?
Before we regroup with the rest, I have a quick question. I was reading the book that you made about our adventures.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, you know, as I do every night, I was reading Lucky a Good Night Story. But what's a himbo? I heard that was a description in your book. I don't know what that
Here we
is.
go.
Oh, a himbo is like it's not a bad thing. Right,
I mean-
Octavia? It's not like a bad thing.
No.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know entirely what it means because I just like read it in someone else's story, so I just used it, but I couldn't really tell you what it was actually. So
Shouldn't you use words that you know when
So-
you're writing?
So if I were to, it's a good thing. It's like a compliment.
I would
Bowman.
be careful who you say it to.
yeah, I wouldn't say it to anyone that isn't me or Octavia. Because it's like an inside joke now, right?
Yeah.
And I would be really upset if you use my inside joke with other people.
So if I told Nyx that she's a himbo.
Oh, that might be good. She might like that.
I think she would like that.
Oh,
I think she would be okay with it, but like I wouldn't go saying
not.
it to Jinarra.
And do not say it to Artie. Do not
No,
say it to
definitely
Artie.
not saying it.
It
to
will
Artie.
go right to his head.
So it is a compliment.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anyways, we'll see you at breakfast.
Okay.
Before, well, that beautiful conversation that I'm gonna have to explain to my mother, is going on. Mom, we'll talk.
What is a himbo? A PowerPoint in three parts.
I am
Wrong.
going.
Dumb. Himbo.
Strong, dumb, and kind. The himbo must be all three.
It's true. Very true.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna. Oh, that works out. I'm gonna try and find Jinarra in the morning.
Okay.
Like, go to the door.
She is not in the
Jinarra.
room.
I spend like a good minute knocking and starting to talk to her at the door before I open and see she's not there.
You would eventually track her down in the suite. She's found a room to train in.
Oh. Hello.
Hi, Artie.
Hi. Are you? You're already. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm the best I've ever been. How are you? We've done that.
Yes.
Do you always start your mornings like this? Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Usually.
I probably know that already, but I'm not sure I do. I'm usually still asleep or drunk.
In the morning?
Sometimes. We don't need to focus on it. But your form's great. I don't know, but
Thanks.
yeah. Do you want to punch me? Wait, no.
No.
Great. I need your I need your help.
Okay.
Is that like a punching bag or something in here? What does your training room look like?
Well, this would not be her normal training room.
Right.
Oh, right.
So whatever
Well,
you think you would have scrounged together,
I would have probably found something that could be used as a makeshift punching bag.
Or pillow.
So yeah, there's like a pillow that I've like rigged to a pillar or something.
Great. I'll take my own swings at it as I talk.
You're gonna break your wrist with that form.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I tucked my thumb in, right? tucked in?
No.
No?
I'll show him how to do it correctly.
Oh.
Yeah. That'll feel better. Try that.
Yeah. Oh.
We'll work on it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it didn't hurt. Hey. How do you? You're a very responsible person, right? Like people depend on you. We all depend on you, right? And you never let any of us down. How do you do that?
I just have to not let you all down. If I let you all down, you probably will die.
Well, that's exactly. So how do you? Here's the thing. When you know me. I'm wonderful. I'm flamboyant. I'm fantastic, etc., etc. The list goes on. But how can I be that, but also like have to like be in charge and be like people keep getting knocked out when I'm not paying attention. And like everyone's talented. I'm not saying that like Penny's like bad, right? Like she packs a heck of a, she could probably punch this, but
Yeah.
like how do, because you have to, and then that's all. He's just gonna keep saying things like that.
Yeah.
You need to, I don't know, you need to believe in yourself a little bit. I mean, people are going to drop, but at the end of the day, we're going to help each other out, and we just have to believe that we're going to all make it. And I know you're capable of doing that.
It's just I don't regret working in Waterdeep, right? We did some crazy kick-ass stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and people are alive because of us.
Yeah.
But I just never seemed to be in the right spot to keep people from getting hurt. And you're always there, so I don't know. I'll just figure it out.
You've helped so many people, and you're not giving yourself credit for all that.
Yeah.
Where's this
Maybe.
coming from?
I mean, I knew so many of those people, right? At home, we came and they're just remains scattered all over the place. I shared drinks with them. I was the one that came down. I wasn't one of the family. I was the runt, the one that could hang out with everyone. Now I'm realizing that they still weren't really being authentic with me, but I thought I knew them, and we had a job to do. We had to keep them safe. And I wasn't there, right?
There was no way for you to know that was going to happen, though.
I knew something, though, right? I knew
Knowing
he was a shit, but I knew he was
and knowing
lost.
that. Yeah, I know, but A doesn't equal B all the time. You
Did you
can't
pick those
blame
because those are my
yourself.
initials?
No, actually.
Oh, I have to say, I owe Penny an apology.
A little bit, but that's okay.
Maybe I'll play a good prank on her or something.
I'm not sure if that's the correct apology, but it's very you.
Well, thanks. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're never
Punishing.
interrupting.
I might have broken this pillow for you, but
That's okay.
do you want breakfast? If you had breakfast,
No, let's go eat breakfast.
let's do that.
Right.
I'm gonna give her a hug.
I hug you back.
Great. That didn't just happen. Let's go eat.
Yeah.
So, unless anybody had anything else, you all convene all together for the first time for the day. day is yours. What's everybody doing? What's the plan?
Alright, so so Rose found that weird area of the library, right?
Yeah.
That nobody knew about?
She found
Rose got in the
a
restricted
journal.
section.
She found
found-
a journal
Right.
of Jason Brightshield.
Yeah. But that was in the
It was
hidden.
it wasn't hidden. It was just in the inner ward. It was just in the stacks of the library. Just nobody knew it was there because nobody can seem to recall information about
Okay.
Oikos or the Brightshields or anything like that, except for her. And you will.
And so it's information about the family and such in general, not just the book.
Right. Like if she repeated the information that was in the book to somebody else, they wouldn't be able to retain it.
Got it. So it's because the book is on information about the thing,
Right.
but that they don't remember. Got it. Thank you.
Or that's what you're assuming.
So how do we find more books? Potentially more books. Have we read this book yet?
Already did.
Okay.
Did I?
Yeah, Jason.
Oh.
Remember him? Remember Jason
and
Brightshield?
Rose is the only
intimately.
person who fully read it.
Oh, I already looked at it, right?
She summarized the contents.
Oh, that's right.
for you, But
I think I was reading Bowmin Found My Dad's Journal,
Hmm.
and I read that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should have a group that looks over what we already have and a group that goes to see if we can find more.
Okay.
And yeah.
I want to go to the library.
I would like to investigate more things.
And good where.
Really?
I have a
I
lot of
didn't peg you
questions.
for a reader, Bowman, but you are surprising me.
I've been reading longer than you've been alive.
Well, that's not my fault. Is
Fair
it?
enough.
Thanks.
That's
Anyways, who else is going to the library?
I'm not much of a reader, but I can just go search for things.
Rose, you should probably accompany whoever looking over the book that you found.
sure, I'm happy to help with whatever.
If we all kind of pick like a general topic and like pair off in 2s or 3s,
That's true.
then we can all come back.
I
Or
will
ones.
say, Octavia, love hanging out with you, but you and I are probably the two best people at finding things. So we probably should not be. Either we should definitely be together or we should definitely not be together. And I can't figure out which one.
I say split up. It gives us maybe a little bit
spread
better
the well.
chance.
Okay.
So there are
Spread
7
the
of us. If we split up into groups of 2 or 3, that'll give us about 2 to 3 groups.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure my maths were right on that one. Anyway,
That is true.
They were spot on.
thanks. So what are general directions? Do we even know how this system is organized? Do we have an avowed that we can go with that can go with each of the groups to help us out?
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
there-
like the
there-
librarian.
There will be a Vowed who can help us find the sections that we're looking for.
Okay.
Yes. I'll just tag along with whatever group Bowmin is in. That's fine.
Or we could just pair off together.
Well,
If we're
there's Penny made a really good point in that there is an odd number of us. So, you know, if there were groups of 2, primarily there would be one group of 3, or if there were
Oh, this makes
Yes.
sense.
Thank you for describing maths to us again, Rose. Great. All right.
It didn't seem
So-
like it sunk in with anybody else. I was just trying to reiterate your point.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Great. Okay. So let's go find some avowed and split up then.
Wait,
Right?
so let's look on. Who wants to look? What do we look for? The name. Lost topics to look for. The name is Oikos. Lost cities, Shadowfell. Right. The shadow. How to get there? I'll look.
Ravenloft.
Jason?
So, who's going with
Jason Brightshield.
I'll go with Octavia.
I'll go with Artemis.
I'll go with
Great.
Rose and Bowmin.
What topics is I guess we'll go one group at a time.
We're so good at this.
Yeah.
Marty, what do you want to research?
What do I want to? I want the most. What do I want to find the most? How to reach Dagran. So how to get to Ravenloft, Shadowfell. I don't know where.
Yeah. You're
Ravenloft.
working under the assumption that it's Ravenloft.
Great.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the two of you, Artemis and Jinarra, are going to look up stuff
Yep.
on Ravenloft. What are the other groups looking up?
We could try to find something on Oikos or something in the general direction of what is also Altergard is what's there now. Yeah.
Based on what Rose
Right.
was able to assume based on
Right.
descriptions.
Which I'm going as canon.
Yeah, Oikos was a city-state located between Cormyr and the kingdom of Eltergard. Now, Eltergard has been consumed by the Sword Coast Federation. It is now part of the Sword Coast Federation, and most of Cormyr is now part of the Sword
Right.
Coast Federation. But between those two nations, there was a bit of a stretch of land that didn't technically belong to any particular nation, and was just assumed to fall under the spheres of influence of Cormyr or Eltergard. But if Rose's hypothesis is right, that probably before Oikos disappeared fell under Oikos' sphere of influence.
Do we think Oikos might be the hardest thing to get information on? Because I am wondering if maybe we should actually look for that, because I could burn through all my luck if I had to, if it's role-based.
Oh.
Is your
Sure.
investigation high?
Mine is.
Same.
That's a good point. Mine is not high, mine's super low.
Mine's all right. I'm not known for my smarts, as
I
we
mean,
discussed
The
earlier.
thing is since we're all paired off, I would assume that everybody is going to help
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
person to give advantage. So at the very least, we have that.
Yeah,
We'll be fine. We can do it. Okay, we can look
Okay.
for. If you'd rather us look for, Oikos,
And
or
then
we can.
Penny and I could search for how to get to Ravenloft.
Okay.
And we'll look for Brightshield ancestors.
Sounds good.
Name of Apollo, or Jason, or Roderick. Maybe more
Just
Apollo.
Open up a Greek myth and pick
Yeah,
a name.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe
Great.
Apollo. Do Apollo
Apollo.
most.
We'll
Like
do
all of them.
all of them, but we'll focus on Apollo. Apollo Brightshield.
Yes.
We're going to the Avowed and acting like it's a Google search engine.
Apollo.
Brightshield. Brightshield Apollo.
Yeah.
Apollo. Brightshield.
Yeah.
A bright
Yeah.
shield.
Okay, so
Ooh, or sorry, periods of that region, like holes in history,
Mm.
right? If there's like a history on that region or area, if there's a big gap, we can narrow down those times and give Ben a migraine.
Would that
Come on,
go
Ben,
with
it's not that
Lost
hard.
City or
Easy.
Bright Shields? I feel like that would go with Lost City.
Probably with Lost City.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. Because when looking for like area of oikos, you can look about gaps in history in that area.
Before we all split and go our separate ways, Ms. Presswell, Penny,
If you're proposing,
I should have no. I should have been listening more to you yesterday. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got hurt. And I hope this will make you feel better. And I will use an inspiration.
Please never apologize to me again. That made me feel so uncomfortable.
Great. Channel that discomfort into your search.
Wonderful. Okay, Octavia, let's go before I
Yeah.
throw up.
And Mr. Bowmin, oh no. Nyx. Are you awake?
Yeah, I'm good.
I was gonna inspire you, but if a coffee would be better.
I'll take inspiration in the form of coffee.
Great. I perform. I'm a little teapot.
Oh.
And you are inspired by
Let's
my
revisit that as a brand
Grammy
deal, by the
Award
way.
winning.
Inspiration coffee.
If we ever
it
get
probably
big enough,
already exists.
that's true.
Nah.
Make it exist.
Google it.
Right. So with your research tasks decided, you all get an avowed guide to help you find the general topic areas within the vast store of knowledge in Candlekeep, and go begin your research work.
Real quick, Bowmin wants to pull our guide Avow aside and just ask to be brought to any books about Lakar or Faulknor. I can't pronounce that. I think you know what I'm trying to talk about.
Yes, I do. The avowed nods and says, do you want me to retrieve those books and bring them to where you're looking for the other stuff, or do you want to look for that stuff after the other stuff, or that stuff before the other stuff?
If you
Which-
could bring the books, if you could bring the books to me, that'd be great.
Yep, I
And
will.
really anything.
Very well. Yes, I will. I will retrieve those books and bring them to you.
Thank you.
Great. With that, you all begin research. All right. So let's start with Artemis and Jinarra. I believe the two of you are looking for information on Oikos.
Oikos, yep.
Now, what I will say is that we are assuming this is a research montage over several days
Yep.
of searching, of trying to find stuff. So we're moving into a little bit more of a wibbly period of time as you all sort of research. And if there's ever a point during any of this that you want to meet up with one of the other groups or meet up with everybody, have a conversation, that's easily enough arranged for all of you. So all that being said, Artemis and Jinarra, you were looking for stuff on Oikos. I would like one of you to make an investigation check with advantage to see what you can find.
Not it.
All right, I'll do it.
My investigation is -1.
Oh, great. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
An advantage. Oh boy. Okay. Nat 20.
For a total of
25.
okay. So you are starting to do the research. This is hard. It's particularly hard because you will ask the avowed, like, take me to your stuff on Oikos, and the avowed will say something like, yeah, right this way, and then we'll be wandering along for a minute and be like, I'm sorry, it must have just slipped my mind. What were the records you were looking for? What was the topic you were hoping to research? So, in every variation of this, basically the same thing happens, is that they immediately forget what they're looking for, or don't have any clue what you're talking about, or both. Actually, most often both. So you have to get creative, but you begin kind of like broadening your topics to find general topic areas where you would likely find the information that you're looking for. Like geographical records, old maps, old trade documents, those sorts of things. And then from there, you're just kind of like manually digging through everything, looking for any trace of the kingdom of Oikos. Eventually, you do find, deep into like the third day of research, you find an old map of the region from the year 1400 DR. This is about 100 years before the Sword Coast Federation is officially established. You find an old Faerunian map from around 1400 DR, and sure enough, right in the middle between where the Kingdom of Eltergard is and the Kingdom of Cormyr is the city of Oikos.
Does it? So it's just, you just see the city, like a little dot.
Yep.
There's no roads, trade routes.
So there
forests.
are, so there it is located on, major roadways. It's located on major trade routes. So you can start to kind of piece together like how it fit with everything else. I'm trying to find my Faerun map, which
We have to get this book copied though.
Yeah, and we need to stay with the person as they copy it, because they'll forget to do it.
Yep.
So we get to hang out a little longer.
Yes. So Oikos, and you are actually able to compare it to a map. You have this map, right? You see Oikos there, and then you grab another map from about 100 years later, from around 1505 DR. Oikos is not on that map. Where Oikos was in comparison is there was a fairly major roadway that connected the southern Eltergard city, Berdusk, all the way along, through several cities, all the way to an end point in Westgate, located sort of on a bay, on a bay of an inland sea that Cormyr at the time controlled the northern side of. In later years, Cormyr would control the entire bay. But so there was this, roadway there, and the kingdom of Oikos was around 1400. The roadway went through Oikos. 100 years later, in 1505 DR, the roadway had shifted south and now went through a different city called Erebor.
Sorry, Sorry, go ahead.
And the location where Cormier was, there's nothing.
Okay.
But this was a major trade roadway which connected all the way from, through major roadways, went into the heart of Eltergard. From there, went all the way to the major cities of the Sword Coast, and then stretched east all the way to the Inland Sea, in the center of the continent, which controls, a lot of the trade of the more inland nations of the continent. So this was an important overland roadway, so much so that where that roadway is now along, there's railroads that go basically along the same route now, and canals that that allow for seafaring vessels to make this voyage, border parts of this roadway as they connect natural waterways. So this is a very important sort of east-west trade route, that Oikos was in 1400 DR an important stop along the road in. And then by 1505 DR, Oikos was no longer there and the road had shifted.
You said the road connected Westgate to a different city. What was the name of the other city?
Yeah, Westgate was the terminus on the far eastern end of the road. The Eltergard end of the road, Burdusk was the easternmost Eltergard city that this road connected. But the road went further inland past Burdusk. So it went north, west into other cities in Eltergard, and then continued from there to the Sword Coast. So Burdusk was not the other terminus of the road. It's just sort of where the road leaves Eltergard.
Okay.
Got it. And you said it now, Erebor is a little more south from where it was originally. I'm looking at it now.
Right. Yeah. So Oikos was slightly north of where the city of Erebor currently is, and where the city of Erebor was by 1505. And the road actually did go up to Oikos, then crossed a river, then went along the southern edge of a mountain range before connecting to the city of Prosker, and then going down, following the road to Westgate. But after the disappearance of Oikos, the whole road shifted south. And suddenly now the road up to Prosker from the Traders Road, this main road, was now a spur off of the Traders Road as opposed to the main road itself.
Got it.
Okay.
The whole road it seems like the whole road redirected when Oikos disappeared.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, let's get this copied. And then should we keep trying to find more information, or should we try to meet up with the others?
I mean, we can try to find more, but we should loop in with everyone else. It's been 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll get this copied.
Great. Next up, let's go over to our Ravenloft group. So, Penny and Octavia. Two of you are looking up information on Ravenloft. Anything specific with Ravenloft, or are you just trying to learn as much as you can about Ravenloft?
I think we'd be looking for like any information about pocket dimensions and how to get to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Okay, so yeah, you
an
start looking
idiot's
up.
travel guide too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you start looking up Ravenloft with a focus on how to get there. Yeah, you start doing your research. A lot of their research is folktale and legends about. But go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage for me, one of you.
I'll do it. Ooh, natural 20, making that a 29.
Wow. Yeah. Great. Yeah, you find a ton of stuff about Ravenloft. A lot of it is folklore. But there are some more serious academic tomes, sort of related to planes and planar travel and that sort of thing. So, you know, generally, just to confirm some of the stuff that you've already learned, based both on the folklore that you find and the academic studies that you find, Ravenloft, otherwise known as the Domains of Dread, is a series of demi-planes that is sometimes thought to be connected to Shadowfell, sometimes not thought to be connected to Shadowfell. There is some debate in academic circles whether or not it is connected to the plane of Shadowfell. But
Not the Ravenloft discourse.
there's academic Ravenloft discourse. But most scholars agree that this plane of existence is home to a bunch of pocket domains. Each pocket domain is for the purposes of spells that allow you to travel to different planes of existence. Each demi-plane within Ravenloft is treated as its own plane, for the purposes of those spells. But unlike other planes of existence, you can travel on foot from one pocket domain of Ravenloft to another pocket domain of Ravenloft, assuming that the borders of that particular pocket realm are not closed. If the borders are closed, you can't get out of that pocket realm. The ability to travel from one pocket realm to another pocket realm is described as basically you enter a thick wall of mist, you wander through it, and then you come out in a different pocket realm. Some scholars propose that there has to be a way to determine what your end destination is, but a lot of the scholars that have traveled to Ravenloft and returned to write about it, first of all, few and far between. Second of all, didn't have so much luck figuring out the mechanics of how to determine your destination. But it is assumed there is a way to determine your destination because the Vishtani are known to be able to travel to different realms in Ravenloft, and some Vishtani bands have been able to travel out of Ravenloft into the material plane, seemingly at will. But whatever allows them to do that is not something any Vishtani has chosen to divulge, either because they can't or because they won't. No one is quite sure, though sometimes Vishtani bands will allow travelers to join them on a journey. So, yeah, you find that information. Other than that, you know, you do learn that if you had a spell that could allow you to travel to another plane of existence, and you had a destination, you might be able to plane shift into Ravenloft. Again, though, it's a little wiggly and has a higher chance of failure than average for plane shifting. So I know that's a lot of information to throw at you. Are there any questions about anything I just said, or are there any other Ravenloft related topics you want to look into?
If a plane shift spell fails, could you just end up on a random dimension, or would you just stay where you are?
Let me look it up. So, it would just fail, and you would be stuck in. The spell would just fail, and you wouldn't go anywhere.
Okay.
In order to plane shift to another realm, I'll say this was part of your research too, because that makes sense. First of all, the spell plane shift is a 7th level spell. In order to plane shift, you have to have a tuning fork attuned to the frequency of the plane you are trying to go to. So if you don't have the you know, the right material, you'll be, you know, shit out of luck.
Okay.
So you find all that as you're researching. First of all, at one point during the first day of research, you see that another avowed that's not the one that's accompanying you, but you're pretty sure is the one that was with Bowmin's group, shows up, grabs a couple books, and then leaves. But then, as your research continues, you are on around the end of day 2. You are approached by a tiefling in the robes of one of the great readers, who comes up and says, "Hello there. I hope you're enjoying our fine library. I've not had the pleasure of meeting you yet. My name is Silvira Savakas, at your service."
Silvira.
Hello.
Hi.
And you two are members, of course, of the famed N Tandem, correct?
Yeah, that name isn't official yet, but yeah.
Well, it was in all the newspapers.
You know, people keep saying that, but you know, newspapers get things wrong all the time.
Aren't you a reporter?
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway, your avowed aide let me know that you were looking into Ravenloft and plane travel topics. I just so happen to be the resident expert on the planes. Is there something I might be able to assist you with?
Yeah, we were trying to find a way for some of our group to go to Ravenloft, and all we've found thus far is a spell that it's above my casting ability level and requires a tuning fork that we don't have.
Well, I must say, first of all, you all are powerful adventurers, so I'm sure you can handle it, but Ravenloft is the last place in the realm. Well, that's not true. It's one of the last places in the great wheel of the cosmos that I would want to end up.
Yeah, we're not really going there by choice.
If you are bound and determined to travel there, yes, traveling there it's difficult. Short of committing a act of depravity and hoping that the dark powers in charge of Ravenloft take notice, which I'm sure you don't want to do, it's difficult to get there. It just so happens, though, that in a previous life, I spent a brief period of time with a leader of a band of Vishtani named Hyskosa. He may be amenable to grant you passage into Ravenloft.
That would be amazing.
I am not sure, they travel. And they travel to and from Ravenloft as well. So I'm not sure where he is right at this moment, but I can inform you once I have a location for him, if that would be to your liking.
Yes,
Yeah.
Please.
Very well. I will see if I can arrange that.
Thank you.
Thank you for saving Candlekeep from having one of our towers blasted into outer space.
I forgot we did that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did do that.
Weird.
And
Well, that was like 3 days ago.
And of course, I would be remiss to not thank you for saving Waterdeep from this fiery destruction at the hands of an ancient red dragon bent on burning down and ruling the city and possibly the world.
All in a day's work, really.
Multiple months of work.
Yeah,
Really.
really traumatic months, actually,
Yes.
now that I'm remembering it.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, yes, I will see if I can figure out where Hyskosa is, and I will let you know as soon as I have a location for him.
Wonderful.
We're staying at the inn. But Penny, I think we should go find our friends.
Yeah.
Great. We'll check in with our third team then. So Nyx, Bowmin, and Rose, the three of you are looking for Brightshields, and Bowmin, you're looking for another thing as well. Go ahead, and I'll have somebody make an investigation check with advantage.
Nyx, that's all you.
Yeah.
I think it's triple advantage because it's me and
Yeah.
Rose.
That's not how
So
that works.
You're also inspired.
That's true. I'm gonna use it. It's a D8.
Uh-huh.
We're getting all the information. Ooh. Okay. 35.
Holy shit. You are quickly led to the genealogical records of the library. and you're able to basically track the genealogical records of the family, right? So you find a lot of information about like really recent generations and a lot of like ads for wine and you know, like in like they bring like ephemera boxes out. You open them up and they've got like old like wine labels in little like folders and stuff. So you're going through that and you're able to track back like generation. First thing you notice, Nyx, as you're going through these genealogical records. So Artemis's father was named Roderick. And Roderick had, you know, two sons, Dagrin and Artemis. Neither Dagrin nor Artemis is a particularly common name. Roderick was preceded by several other Brightshields who had relatively common names, right? There's a Thomas Brightshield, there's a Daniel Brightshield, there's a Catherine Brightshield, you know, so there's a lot of like relatively, you know, more normal names. But as you go further back, unusual names become more common. So you keep tracking back and you start finding names like Diomedes Brightshield. You find a Castor Brightshield, a Pallas Brightshield. You find several Apollo Brightshields. You also find several Heracles Brightshields. You also find Cleo Brightshield, a Cassiopeia Brightshield. Why are you looking at
You're
it?
just looking at Greek names.
I could be. It's possible. Desponia Brightshield. So, you know, you're finding a lot of you know, more unusual names. And you track it back, and the oldest genealogical record that you are that you find in this specific genealogical record that's been brought to you is Jason Brightshield.
So we go back to the common names.
Jason Brightshield is interesting because the information about him, there's no information about him in the genealogical record until 1500 DR. There's no records of him before, no records of who his parents were, no records of any siblings, just Jason Brightshield, first of his name. But with a 30 fucking 5, I will say that you are actually able to, you're looking around the genealogical records, you know that the avowed are not going to be able to retain knowledge of what you're actually looking for. So you get creative, you figure out, you know, you've kind of like spent some time in this space, so you start figuring out where other archaeological records would be, and you do find a royal genealogy of the kingdom of Oikos. The last listed king was Apollo Brightshield III, who had 2 children. Jason Brightshield is the younger of the 2 children. Jason's older sister was Ariadne Brightshield. Apollo Brightshield III had married a woman named Hyacinth, from one of the other noble families of the Kingdom of Oikos. Apollo's father and grandfather were also both named Apollo. So Apollo, his father was Apollo 2, his grandfather was Apollo 1. And you know, going back, you're sort of tracking back this record like further and further and further. Some of the previous monarchs of Oikos are Callisto 2 Brightshield and Callisto Brightshield. You do find a note actually next to Callisto Brightshield II, Queen Callisto Brightshield II, that the Oikosian Golden Age began under her reign. Continuing to track back, you eventually find that the first king in this lineage was someone in this royal genealogical record. So there are, of course, all sorts of embellishments, like artistic embellishments in this. It's like a very old like family tree like chart that you were able to dig up, basically on your own with no help from the Avowed, because you got a 30-5. You find the first king of Oikos was someone who was eventually referred to as the sainted king Heracles Brightshield the First. And there's all sorts of brackets around his name and silver flame embellishments surrounding it. So this the sainted king Heracles Brightshield the First ruled Oikos beginning in the year 1000 DR. So about 500 years between him and the reign of the last king in this record. So that's what you find. Also,
Go Nyx.
yeah. Also, Bowmin, the Avowed brings you a tome about Falkovnia. You crack it open. It's a very thin book. There's not a lot of information in here.
Oh, good.
What you learn is that Falkovnia is one of the domains of Ravenloft. And is a land beset by a plague of the undead.
Great.
So that's what you find there. After several days of research and digging through tomes and stuff, the party reconvenes to discuss your findings.
Alrighty, I found your great a lot of great grandfathers.
This is fantastic.
Is
Thank you so much.
everybody getting copies made of the things
Yes.
that they okay?
Does that cost money? How much does that cost?
The
Everything's
form
free for
said
us.
you could have it
Oh,
for
that's
free.
great. That's
Nice.
We have
I
VIP
would like,
library cards.
right.
I would like one of everything.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fantastic. A lot of names.
Yeah. I mean,
Interesting.
I'm just going to request this now. Do not ask me for every single monarch's name. I have more than you might expect, but I don't have all of them.
So you're saying find your breaking point.
Hmm.
do any of these, I mean, a lot of the names that are in the like royal family tree show up in the post royal family tree as well. So like, are these
Yeah,
passed
probably.
down?
Probably. So any of those stories never made it to me. But what all the names mean.
Artie, do you
Apollo,
have
there are several
grandparents?
Apollo. Do I have grandparents?
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I had grandparents. They're dead.
His dad
Okay.
didn't appear out of nowhere.
yeah, okay, never mind. I guess it'd be a long time since Ghost disappeared from your grandparents. Well, I don't know. Elves live a long time, right? Aren't you an elf?
I'm half elf.
On his
I'm
mother's
sorry.
side.
I'm sorry. I
On
didn't
my
mean-
mother's side.
I'm sorry. That was offensive.
Yeah, no, it's all humans. They die like that.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's all right. Okay. Never mind.
So I mean, Oikos definitely existed and had a royal family at some point.
That alone is. I mean, we've had proof well before this. I mean, this crazy little sword means things, but it's. Oh, this means a lot. So thank you.
You could frame this. I feel like
I
this would make
might.
a nice installation.
Where should I put it? Right over my bed.
Sure.
That feels
Right on the
appropriate.
ceiling.
Right on the ceiling.
I was gonna say over a fireplace, but you know, that works too.
Either one, really.
Octavia and I were looking into Ravenloft. We found a lot of stuff about interplanetary travel. Anyways,
Are we
but the
building
cool
our own hot balloon ships?
listen, I said a word wrong, Nyx. I'm sorry. Okay, so the cool thing that happened though was one of the great readers came up to us and said that they knew a lot about plane shifting because they've done it a couple times and that they know the leader of a Vishani band that may be able to help us out and get us to Ravenloft potentially or help us find it. So they're going to let us know when they can get in touch with them. Hopefully it's soon. And hopefully they are nice and not evil.
Oh, the Ashani are traveling salesmen. I'm sure they'll be willing to negotiate.
Yeah, for context, all of you have probably heard of the Vishtani in one way or another. The Vishtani are basically the D&D equivalent of the Romani peoples of Europe. So, depending on where you're from, you've maybe heard some not so pleasant rumors about them, which are, you know, probably not true. But
Artemis and I found Oikos on a map.
We did. It's right here.
It was in the library the whole time. The real Oikos was the Oikos we Oikosed along the way.
yeah, you throw out
I
the
want-
map, the
Yep.
two maps for comparison.
Yep.
Does anyone know a really good archaeologist? Maybe one with a whip. A really good hat.
Rose like leans forward with the maps out and says, "So I was right about where Oikos was."
You were right.
That's good.
You were right. Nicely done.
Didn't you read that in a book, Rose?
Well, no, I pieced it together based off of what I read from Jason Brightshield's diary.
Hmm. Have you
Good
ever
job,
thought
Rose.
about being a journalist, Rose?
Penny.
I'm just kind of experiencing the world right now, but journalism does sound fascinating.
Miss Presswell, are you considering taking her under your wing?
No, I'm
Apprentice.
just trying to count
an
all the
apprenticeship.
ways Rose Wilmington is stealing my life from me. I gifted Gab that, by the way.
Yeah, she starts to say, "I could never," and then you give to Gab, and she's like, "What was I talking about?"
You found it.
Oh.
You found the thing.
Yeah, I found it. That's gratifying. I'm glad to know that I got that one right.
So where do we go
Which-
from here?
Well, we could either wait for the Vistani to show up, or we could go to this area and dig around and see what's there, see what's left.
How far away is it?
It's a decent track.
It's pretty far.
Okay.
If I may make a suggestion, if we don't think it's there, and no one's found it before, we probably won't find much at all.
I will say, if people have found it and it is in Ravenloft, we would not know.
Yeah.
Rose interjects and says, "Well, and when Jason, according to the diary, when he first discovered that people no longer recognized the name of where he was from, he went back to where the city was located and found nothing there. I would assume there's nothing to find at that site."
Did he describe like a hole in the ground or just like an empty field?
According to his diary, it was basically empty fields where the city once was. It was as if the city had never existed.
Did anybody try digging?
I don't know. Jason didn't mention it specifically.
Did anybody find anything about like archaeological digs there?
Not specifically.
That's not just a freebie you're gonna give us, Ben?
Nope.
We could look, see if there's records, or we could just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
No, well,
Months and months in the dust and dirt.
Not that doesn't sound fun, but if the goal is to find where Dagger has gone, and Ravenloft is where we think he may be, I would say we do that first.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
if we can return Oikos where sorry, I'm a little drunk.
Same.
Isn't it the morning?
It's that library tavern ale.
Books
sneaks
are
up on you.
boring.
The mind.
Right.
But my vote is to go to Ravenloft as soon as possible.
You're right.
Oh, I
We
thought we
just
were
don't
gonna
know.
wait several years to go.
Years.
If first of all, if you got something, I don't think I have several years left, just in general. But
You are gonna live longer than I do.
I
Yeah.
already have.
Oh my god, that's not my fault. You have to stop blaming me for being young.
I
You're
don't
being ageist.
blame you for being wrong. I envy you for being young.
Oh my god.
You know, Bowmin, I bet we could find some magic that could extend your life.
Absolutely not.
Seems.
I mean, people
Like
have
an
looked into it.
elixir or a
Certainly.
stone?
The answer is probably in this library.
As you're talking about all of this, Artemis, you feel like a horrible burning sensation at your waist where your sword is.
Ooh. I'm kidding. Stop it.
It cools
what was
off.
that?
Are you okay?
What was that?
I'm
Is your
totally fine.
sword communicating
Also
with
drunk.
you?
Do we notice anything? Like besides Artemis yelling at his hip?
No,
Okay. It doesn't glow or anything.
no.
I
I
just got it.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I do not want to live forever. I want to eventually do what every good soldier does, is pass away.
Right.
Well, this
I was merely
is depressing.
suggesting as a joke.
We need to change the subject.
And at this moment, the tiefling great reader,
Very convenient.
very convenient, Silvira Savikas comes in and says, "Oh, excellent, you're all here. If I may just briefly say, I would like to thank all of you for your services to both Candlekeep and the world. In tandem, you are a promising adventuring party, and I'm very excited for your future. But I am here to let you know about my friend Haiskosa of the Vishtani. He's actually currently not too far from here. His band is currently up in Baldur's Gate. Only a couple hours by train to get there.
Oh, great. We have a train.
That's true. I bought the whole thing.
What?
Bought a train
Yeah.
car.
When did that?
I'll attach it to a train. It'll be fun.
Well, thank you. That is very useful.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And,
Very efficient here in Candlekeep. Oh my god.
Well, they have to make
you
up for the
guys-
fact that
Do
a
you
man died on their watch.
do you guys get a lot of funding? Because I feel like more people should be funding such a really, really amazing public good.
yeah, it would be nice if we got more
Yeah.
funding.
Yeah.
Some might say that the humanities aren't getting the kind of
Yeah.
government funding that science and technology fields are getting, and that
I hear you.
I recognize the importance of science and tech. I am not saying that those fields are bad, but the humanities do deserve a fair bit of funding as well.
God, do I have
Anyway,
the silence spell?
I've said my piece. I'll get going. Thank you very much.
Wait, so are they just is he just gonna be there? How long is he
Oh,
gonna be
yes.
in Baldur's Gate?
Here's a letter of introduction.
Great.
They are camped just outside of the city, and he gives you sort of where to look for them.
Okay. Great.
Great. All right. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us.
Yeah.
We should fit in the car. How about the whole car?
It's
Bro,
It's a big
Rose is
car.
like-
You're right.
hang on. Am I missing something? Am I going with you?
I was presuming.
Are
Rose,
you-
you're free to stay here. I know you wanted to stay here.
Rose is going through their like redemption era, remembering what the world is like, that kind of thing.
Rose, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of being an adventurer.
Sure. I just gosh,
All right. Well, don't make it weird.
Well, I didn't I wasn't sure if you'd want me to come with you all, but I'm not opposed to it as long as you all are okay.
If
with me
we
coming
do-
along.
Yeah,
If
this was
we
a
do
very
end
sudden
up-
decision.
Actually, could in tandem huddle real quick.
Yeah,
In
yes, thank you,
tandem
Bowman.
huddle.
Thank you.
Great. This is
Thank
a
you.
perfect time for me as the DM to let you know that this is a character that could potentially be a sidekick for the remaining of the game, for the remainder of the game, if you so desire. However, if you do not desire, then fine. That's also fine. She doesn't have to go with you. That is up to all of you. There may be opportunities in the future to pick up additional sidekicks as the
Daniel.
campaign continues as well.
I love this
Um,
RPG.
So, with that all said, you guys can have in-character discussion about what you want to do. But ultimately, it's up to you all as the players if you would like to
Wow.
bring Rose along with you. So, if you want to take a vote on it, as players, that is how we will decide if Rose travels with you. So.
That's so interesting. Do you what? So she's blah, 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 what are words? What level is
Is
she?
she a paladin or a...
She is a
She's
paladin.
paladin.
She is roughly the equivalent of level 7.
Okay.
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 Her sidekick stat block will level up as the adventure continues, but she will always be a lower level than you all are.
Interesting.
So do we want to do this as players or as characters?
Well,
True.
do it as characters for sure. Have the discussion as characters, but have a vote as players.
Okay.
And we can have the player vote now, and then you can in character discuss what you want to do. So, all in favor of having Rose travel with the party for the remainder of the adventure, raise your hand.
No? I say yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
If people
3
have
in
strong
favor,
feelings,
Nah, I don't have strong feelings.
3
I
in
don't have
favor
strong
are,
feelings.
I assume the other 3 are against. So that is a
It's a tie.
Rose
Even
discourse.
I mean, I
So-
can abstain. That'll tip the scales.
no,
I
that's
don't have
fine.
strong feelings.
I
Let's
will.
I
let's
don't
do
either.
even. Let's do
I don't
even
have strong
odds.
feelings.
Let's do even odds then.
This
Oh
girl
my
is going to die.
So,
Sure.
evens.
We're gonna have to deal with that.
Evens will say she goes with you. Odds will say she does not go with you. But then you
Wild.
can have the character. You can have the discussion in character about what you want to do.
Drum roll.
Mics aren't picking it up.
That is a-
Silent
That-
drum roll.
that is a 9. So that's an odd. So she is not going with you. The
Probably for the
nays
best.
have it.
Yeah.
Great. In character discussion about what you want to do then.
If I may, since I called this meeting,
Yeah, that's true. You did actually.
You smell wonderful, by the way.
thank you.
We just
I
haven't been
tried
close
soap.
in a while.
For
Tried?
one,
It's what? Which one? I pull out 3 of my soaps.
Oh my god.
not that. Anyways, I don't know if you've realized this, but I kind of look at to Rose as a childly figure to my own.
You do?
And-
Gosh.
I can't protect her from everything that happens in the future. I can't control what the rest of you do, but I cannot let her join us to that place. I don't know what I would do if she was left there.
Okay, I have several issues with what Bowman just said, but I do agree with him.
What?
I
What?
feel like
You
we-
disagree, but you agree?
no, I have several issues with what you just said, namely the fact that you would be heartbroken with whatever happened to Rose in Ravenloft, but the rest 5 of us can go fuck ourselves. You didn't
I
say
did
that, but
not
that's
say
what
that.
my
I
brain is
said-
interpreting. That's what my brain is interpreting, Bowman. Okay, anyways. But I do agree with Bowmin. I didn't know that Rose was going to be like a permanent fixture in this group. And I kind of feel like we should have had a vote before that, because I feel like we all had to be initiated into the group, but Rose just got to like find a book. So
I
That's
mean,
just-
we all kind of were thrown into the group. We weren't necessarily initiated.
I would say we were
Lady
initiated when we were
Presswell.
in the sewers. What?
Lady Presswell, do you have a thing for Rose Wilmington?
I hate Rose. Okay. I
Why?
don't hate Rose, but like, are we not getting weird vibes from her?
To be
Weird
fair,
vibes.
I feel like we're getting
This is
weird.
Bowman's daughter you're talking
I
about.
understand that it's Bowman's daughter, but I'm just saying, I don't trust her.
to be fair, she did spend a lot of time on her own, and that was kind of what she was looking for when she left Waterdeep in the first place. It doesn't really seem like she wanted to be part of an adventuring group.
That's true. Can I be the one to deliver the news to her?
It's maybe that's not the best.
I
Okay,
feel
whatever.
like you would have a
like
smile on
Bowmin
your
should
face.
be the one to deliver the news. to her.
True.
Maybe we should.
Why do I have to do it?
Maybe
'Cause
pose
she's
it
your-
as
Because
like a.
that's
Daughter
Do you really want to be part of this weird ass group that we have here?
I don't know if that would really deter her because she's kind of really into this. But
I mean, I can just put on the charm. She'll run the other
I
way.
no, I can take care of it. I have, the best. Yeah, I got. But we're in agreement.
Bowman, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
How do you feel the fact, so you think of Rose as your daughter?
As a child figure, I wouldn't necessarily say
Right, right,
daughter.
Right. But Artie slept with her. And we
Yeah,
haven't talked
I
about
haven't
that,
really dived into that too much.
She's a
Yeah.
grown person. She can do what she wants, or who.
I understand that, but I think it's a
Mm.
weird thing for Bowman, right? We never talk about that.
Yeah,
I feel like there's a lot of things with Bowman we don't talk about.
That's so true.
Yeah, that's his
Yeah.
whole thing.
That's true.
yeah. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to no talking. Bowman.
Oh, this was good. This was good. Sharing is
well.
good.
Oh, God.
Just a second, Rose.
Okay, let's talk to Rose.
Therapy.
Yeah, Bowman, you go to talk to Rose and let her know. So you go up to
Oh.
Rose.
Rose. We had a team chat. I'll be honest with you. I can't.
You don't want me to come along.
I don't want you to come along.
Don't want
I
me to
don't. I actually need something from you because I don't want you to come along, but I don't trust anyone else to do this very specific mission for me.
Okay.
Can you watch
You know a
over
guy.
Lucky?
I'm more of a cat person, but I would be honored.
Thank you. He doesn't do well on rough terrain. He only has 3 legs.
I will take good care of him.
Good. He likes bedtime stories, tucked in at the end of the night.
Absolutely. I can take care of him. And to be honest, I don't know if it's a good idea for me to be going to Ravenloft with you all right now. I've still got a lot of learning and growing to do, and you all seem like you have your whole, your group like together. You know what you're doing, and so.
Well, you just spent several days with us in the library. You probably know for a fact we don't know what we're doing.
No, I think Rose has a point. All 6 of us are very close. And if one
This
of
is a
us were
very
to
private
leave,
conversation.
That would be really, really heartbreaking.
Penny's been there the whole time, just steps out.
But no, just stay here. I can't promise that I'll see you again, but I hope I do.
I hope you do too. And I'll take good care of Lucky.
Thank you. All right, let's go.
All right. With that, unless anybody else has anything they want to do in Candlekeep before you depart. or if anybody else wants to say goodbye to Rose before you depart. Pansy,
Bye,
I know you want to say goodbye to her.
My God. No.
Okay, great. With that, then you all gather your gear and belongings, and you make your way down to the train station and set off Baldur's Gate. Meet with Hyskosa and inquire about passage to Ravenloft.
Can you spell Iskosa real quick?
I will send it in the chat.
Okay.
Amazing.
With that, we will end tonight's episode. Thank you all. Oh, I spelled that wrong in the chat. I'm so sorry. That's the right one. The second one is the right one. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. And we will see you next week. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.